All right, ladies. All right, our last example in this objective, again, gives us some rectangles. But the difference now is that we've got a right triangle as these side pieces. And like I said, we're going to try with these nets to give them to you in a way that's straightforward about what goes where. We don't want to spend too much time with you trying to orient everything. And again, my general strategy when I draw my net, when I draw it into a 3D figure, is to take the non-rectangular part first and make that the very front of my figure. So I'll maybe do B as the front.
This is not going to close the follower.
And then I can follow my diagonal back at some distance into the page. So I'll follow the dotted line. And I can kind of come down along here. And that would make A the back of the prism. Now here's the question. That slant on the ramp, what label does it get? Which side is that?
E.
That's going to be E.
C's in the back, D in the bottom.
Yeah. C is this side over here. D is the bottom of the figure. And that makes this side E. Although given the way this is laid out, if I take this and fold it up, the E would actually be facing the other way.
Yeah.
It would be facing up the ramp when I lay it out. If you look at the picture, where side E and side D are touching, that hinge would be this hinge here. So technically that E should be turned around facing up the ramp. If we're being very, very literal. We talk about perpendicular faces, or I'll do parallel faces. Which sides are parallel to each other? That's A and B.
Is E and D?
E and D cross. They intersect at that line between them.
Okay.
So is C and D. And that's actually all I got.
You got C. You don't wait for C.
C and E hit. They cross the top of the ramp. Perpendicular. Well, here's the obvious one. C and E obviously hit at a right angle. When you think about this ramp, this side and this side are going to be perpendicular. What's another pair of perpendicular sides? A and D? Yep. And likewise B and D. C, is that perpendicular to anybody? No. There's D on the bottom. Is it perpendicular to B?
Yeah.
Yep. And therefore, it's probably perpendicular to A as well.
There's a lot.
Yeah, but that's it. Unlike the rectangle, which really there's every pair is perpendicular if they're not parallel. This one's got some that are not perpendicular and not parallel. They're just two planes that hit. They don't hit at right angles. So I don't have quite as much work to do.
Wouldn't
E be perpendicular to A and B? Yeah. The way this is set up. Yeah. What else can I say about these guys?